Hello, students. Our next poem is A Song for Saint Cecilia's Day by John Dryden. It is an ode to Saint Cecilia. A Song for Saint Cecilia's Day by John Dryden. First stanza. From heavenly harmony, this universal frame begun, when nature underneath a heap of jarring atoms lay, and could not heave her head. The tuneful voice was heard from high, Arise ye more than dead. Then cold and hot and moist and dry, in order to their stations leap, and music's power obey, from heavenly harmony, the universal frame begun, from harmony to harmony, through all the compass of the notes it ran, the diapason closing full in man. John Dryden wrote this ode entitled A Song for Saint Cecilia's Day to celebrate the memory of Saint Cecilia, a pious Christian lady who sacrificed her life in Rome in the year 230 AD. She is adored as a saint and great patron of music. Her music had divine qualities. So, the poem is given to the effect of music on human emotions. From heavenly harmony. That means from the creation of the universe was actually by heavenly harmony, that is heavenly music. When the noise of the heavenly music was heard on earth, then the universal frame began. That means it was through the music of spheres, that is the harmony, that the universe came into existence. When nature underneath a heap of jarring atoms lay. In the beginning, nature lay under the burden of conflicting elements and could not raise her head. That means nature was not organized. Nature was lying under a heap of unorganized atoms, unorganized material, and could not heave her head, could not arrange herself, could not raise her head. The tuneful voice was heard from high. Then the musical words of a voice from heaven was heard by nature. Arise ye more than dead. This voice commanded that the dead people or the dead natures to arise. Arise ye more than dead. The dead elements arise and get up and take up their position. Then cold and hot and moist and dry, in order to their stations leap. At the bidding of this voice, the different elements of nature occupied their respective positions in the universe. In order to their stations leap, they took their positions according to the cold, hot, moist, and dry things. And music's power obey, and nature then obeyed the power of music. From harmony, from heavenly harmony, the universal frame begun. At the bidding of this voice, the different elements of nature occupied their respective positions in the universe. The music of spheres ran through the entire range and culminated in the creation of man. In the last lines, again there is a repetition. Again he repeats the same first four lines. From heavenly harmony, the universal frame begun. From harmony to harmony, through all the compass of the notes it ran. That means when the music was composed and when harmony began, the universal frame began when it heard the music of nature. Then the highest notes which ran was the culmination of man. Man was the result of this creation of the music of spheres. So this was the first stanza. Now we have the second stanza. What passion cannot music raise and quell when Jubal struck the chorded shell? His listening brethren stood around, and wondering on their faces fell to worship that celestial sound. Less than a god, they thought there could not dwell within the hollow of that shell. They spoke so sweetly and so well, what passion cannot music raise and quell. In the second stanza, the importance of music is laid. That is, music can raise and quell any passion on human mind. Then, when Jubal struck the chorded shell. Now, music can excite and pacify all strong emotions. Who is Jubal? Then, Jubal was a great magician mentioned in the Bible, and he was a great player of the lyre. When Jubal, the father of music, sounded the strings of his musical instrument, his brothers and sisters were captivated on hearing that sweet music, and they stood around him to listen to that music. They knelt before the lyre in order to worship the divine music produced by it. They thought that the lyre was the abode of a god who dwelt in the hollow of the lyre and who had such a sweet musical voice. Then all fell on their faces to praise and worship that instrument. That instrument was made from a big shell. They imagined that there must be some god inside the shell because such a music could only be created or produced by God. Third stanza. The trumpet's loud clangor excites us to arms with shrill notes of anger and mortal alarms. The double beat of the thundering drum cries, "Hark, the foes come! Charge, charge, it's too late to retreat." In the third stanza, there is the music or the sound of the trumpet. What effect the sound of the trumpet has on the soldiers. The loud sound of trumpet excites the soldier to fight. The trumpet's loud clangor, that is the noise of the trumpet, is called clangor, excites us to arms. That means it arouses the soldier to fight with shrill notes of anger. That means it instigates the soldier with its shrill angry music as well as by sounding a dreadful warning of danger with shrill notes of anger and mortal alarms. The double beat of the thundering drum. This is the sound imagery. You can hear the sound of the words. So the resounding of a military drum informs the soldier that the enemy is coming. It also instigates him to attack the enemy, adding that it is too late to renounce position in the battlefield. Cries, "Hark, the foes come!" That means the drum is crying that the enemy is coming, so the soldiers should run. Charge, charge, it's too late to retreat. One cannot retreat now. So these are the first three stanzas and how they have the effect of the tunes of different musical instruments on the psyche of man. The sound of the trumpet, The sound of the trumpet and the drum is loud and harsh. The notes or rhythm of these instruments raise the feeling of anger and fear. These encourage man to take up arms to fight or wage war against their enemy. Then, repeated sound produced through the beating of the drums attract attention of people. This boosts of people to face the attack of their enemies in defense and also to make attack on their enemies. This sound encourages people to make use of weapons. Thank you. We have discussed first three stanzas here. Now in the next video I will be discussing the next part of the poem.